Good morning. So I'm officially back on oil today. We decided that since we're not showing much progress and there's not too much further point in us having no oil, we went ahead and restarted our oil. Today was my first official day with oil. I did have oil a couple days ago because we ended up going out to Chipotle for a dinner as celebration of getting a lot of things accomplished around our house that have been several years in the making. And that was kind of the climax and break to our no oil time. So we did do that. The great thing about eating at Chipotle is that I can stay on plan relatively closely, and it doesn't impact me. Now, my husband, on the other hand, he gets a bunch of these extra things and other stuff, so he doesn't stick too close to plan, but it's still a healthier option than, say, fast food. And so we did do that. The other great thing about Chipotle is everything is locally sourced and non-GMO, which is something I love and I don't feel as guilty about having. Now, I will admit, yesterday I did have a treat meal that was not healthy, and that is my fault, and I'm not giving excuses for it. I have reasoning behind it, and I have understanding as to why it happened, how it happened, as well as what I'm going to do in the future. So the problem I had was that I did not prepare and haven't been preparing my meals ahead of time, and I didn't bring my meal out with me when it was time for me to eat, and therefore I got to a point where I couldn't function without having anything to eat. So I had to stop and get something to eat in order to survive the rest of the day. I did not really eat any dinner that night, so it was kind of like a supplemental meal as well. I ate it, and it counted for pretty much all my meals for the day. I didn't have any breakfast that day either, which contributed to the problem of needing to eat when I was out and it wasn't the best time. So I need to get that under lock and key and get that fixed. So what I'm going to do today, that I haven't been doing the last few days, is I am going to be preparing our meals again, ahead of time, at least 2 days. My husband said he'd prefer his meals to be fresh and, hot and ready, such as breakfast and dinner. Sometimes that's doable and sometimes it's not. So I'm going to start going in with a plan, with knowing what we're going to have each day, getting it sorted in the morning, cooking it early if I need to, and making sure that when it comes to lunches or breakfast, I at least have mine fully prepared and ready for me to eat. So that's what's going on there. My weight is still hanging around 212 right now. It might decrease here soon. I have been doing my measurements though, and I have gone down about 2 inches around my waist. Some of it feels like it redistributed because my under breast area went up, but my waist went down, and my hips went down, but my thighs went up, and it's like this weird distribution of my weight. But regardless, it's an improvement. If my waist goes down, that shows progress in my overall health and insulin resistance levels and everything. So that's really what we want when we're doing something like this and we're really changing our life, is we want those small progresses that show us that what we're doing, even if it doesn't seem like it's working, is doing something good for our body. So yeah, today is going to be a meal prepping day and inventory of what I have already and what I need to get from the stores. And then we start the oil phase. And from recalling from memory, on my plan, I am allowed to have coconut oil. My husband is allowed to have ghee or olive oil. And on all plans, the one oil that is always recommended is the rapeseed or grapeseed oil, as long as it's non-GMO, because the grapeseed that was originally here was changed and modified and turned into canola oil, and that's not what we want. We don't want the broken up, deformed version of it. It no longer has the same values and it no longer has the same benefits. We want the full benefits and we want the full force of the oil that we're going to be cooking with. So for that purposes, we recommend the grapeseed oil that is non-GMO. I prefer to find an organic one. At Fry's Food, they have an organic one. So if you have a Kroger or something like that, you can probably find it. Whole Foods, I'm sure, sells it. If not, you can check out Amazon. I found one that came in a completely light-proof container at Fry's, and it's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. And the reason that we want that one is because it has the perfect balance of your omega-3s and omega-6s, if I believe I'm correct. Yeah, I believe it's the omega-3 and omega-6s, and it's the perfect balance of a 3-to-1, which is exactly what we want. So that one is really the best. Everybody can cook with that one. Everybody can use that one because it is so balanced and so basically perfect for oils. So yeah, I will be starting cooking with my coconut oil. My husband can have his olive oil or his ghee, and both of us can use the grapeseed when we're cooking meals for each other together. So looking forward to having oil. I can finally have reasonably fried eggs when I have my egg day. I can finally have my crispy tofu, which I've honestly been missing, which is weird. And yeah, fried slightly crispy sauteed vegetables. Sauteed vegetables are so good. I love sauteed vegetables. And asparagus, asparagus just slightly browned and a little crispy. So good. I am so hungry now. All right, well, that's it for the day. I look forward to checking in tomorrow morning, and we'll see how I'm doing and we'll see how you're doing.